It's a me. I'm not sure if the... Okay, no, the audio does work. I need to open up Spotify, because I haven't done that. And I need to turn the fucking sound down, because it was really high. No, yeah, seems to be working. That's my fan. Such power, such strength. Hang on, just there we go. Right, okay, I'm actually gonna... Oh, this is too high up. I'm gonna swap over to screen capture. Because it's time to go to hell. This is the D&D Wiki over here. And this is a bad place. This is a... I want to see if Harris Heller has a horror playlist. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not that bad. For those who are unawares, the D&D Wiki, let's go to like the homepage. I've zoomed in massively so people can see what the fuck I'm looking at. But the D&D Wiki is a... Oh, why have I got two fucking link scrolls? God damn it. There we go. It's down there. Right. So, basically this is a place for homebrew. And I use the term homebrew here specifically to reference that it is homebrew. You know, like, there's very rarely any kind of design excellence that goes into this. I wouldn't call it game design. I would call it game. Think of like software gore and all those other like sort of, you know, like gore communities where they post things done really badly, minus, you know, like actual, you know, gore showing people's insides and shit. That doesn't apply here. I mean, there's probably something on here that references it, but we're not looking at any of that, so that's probably good. I don't know. I'm not particularly invested in seeing someone's entrails, and I don't think really anybody else is either, so, you know. But I've picked out 3 classes, I'm not sure if we're going to get through all of them, that I've only really sort of looked through a little bit, but I want to assess. I want to see what's there, I want to see if there's anything of value. Oh shit, I've got this on. Let's move this over here. I'm on screen capture for once, which I'm usually not. But yeah, I've said this before. Is the D&D Wiki is where good ideas go to die. And what I mean by that is that these are giga amateur, like hyper ultra amateurs, going to a place where people don't give feedback. People don't give critique. People don't really do anything. They just sort of fart it out into the void and never look at it again. And they just keep doing it. And they never get any better because they don't know that their stuff is trash. You know, because that's the nature of things. Is you make something, you think, oh wow, this is really good, and then either you later on down the line or someone else points it and goes, yeah, it's terrible for these reasons, and you go, hi, yeah, I guess they're kind of right. Time to make it better. And you do that over the course of a period of time, usually a year or two, and eventually you get to the end and you can consistently make things that are pretty good. And obviously, you know, you always need that kind of someone to point at it and go, it's shit because of this reason, but that becomes less prevalent. It becomes more of a, oh, this doesn't work the way you want it to, or, oh, this, you know, style guy, oh, no, style guy stuff, you should be doing that way earlier, but you know what I mean, this is the kind of place where people just kind of dump it into the void and never look at it again, or God forbid actually use it in their home games, which is not good. You know, I've seen people jokingly ask to use D&D Wiki classes in home games, not just mine, before, and yeah, they're bad, really bad. It's usually some edgy shit, usually, not always, but usually. Right. A little low energy today, because I've had a rum all week, I have, but and I am currently mostly deaf in this ear, so that's fun. So this is the channeler. This is, there's this piece of art from whatever the fuck this is. Presumably it's from a game called Tryon Worlds. Tryon Worlds? I don't know, I don't care. It's based on an intellectual property, which means it's almost certainly really poorly thought through, poorly executed, and just ham-fisting mechanics from whatever game it comes from into D&D, which, hint hint, almost never works. It just almost universally doesn't fucking work. Yeah, the same can be said for Unearthed Arcana. Unearthed Arcana is like the reverse of the D&D Wiki, and the D&D Beyond Homebrew section is like the modern D&D Wiki, because good god, that shit is bad. Luckily, it's really hard to use and find, because the D&D Beyond interface was designed by a blind rat. So luckily no one uses it, thank Christ. So, there's no flavor text. Oh, well, there's this. Channelers infuse the raw and untapped power of arcane energy into each and every strike with their massive weapons. That's just a longsword, my guy. That's not a big weapon. That's just a fucking longsword. Draining their target's energy and manipulating it into usable force. High-level channelers are nearly unstoppable forces, and that's a lot of force. The word force has been used like... Actually, no, it's only been used twice. Even so. Unstoppable forces in one-on-one combat, channeling incredible burst damage. Okay, right. We're bringing in MOBA terms. I'm gonna go Google what Tryon Worlds is, or Tryon Worlds. Oh, it's a developer. Okay. Oh, then Rift. Yep, I thought I recognized it. Yeah, this is Rift. Oh, I've got, it says Rift right here. I'm an idiot. So... This looks correct. Yeah, this is all correct. This should not be uppercase, I don't think. I'm going to be critiquing Style Guide most prominently, because stuff on the DM's Guild, it's like, it's a fucking Christmas miracle if it's actually any good, but it's mostly like Style Guide shit. That's the biggest critique is, do I want to tear my hair out when I'm editing this? Because if the mechanics are terrible, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine, it's hard, but it just means that I can go, right, let's fix this. Whereas fixing Style Guide stuff is tedious as all fuck, and I hate doing it. It's so boring. There's nothing, you know, it's just lazy. No, that should be capitalized. Clearly this was just copied from Fire. I mean, I don't know for sure, but... Armor. Heavy, medium. Now, I can see what they're doing. They're trying to alphabetize. That ain't how that shit works. Why? First of all, why aren't they proficient in light armor? That's my real question here. Why if they're proficient in heavy and medium, why aren't they proficient in light? That's just how that works. They're tiers. You know, you can't have tier 2 and tier 3 without having tier 1. That isn't how that works. And it should be light, medium, heavy, or in that case, just all armor. Oh, actually, no, they don't get shields, so that's important. That's an important thing to note. Weapons, all martial. I'm pretty sure the way that weapons work is you learn to use the simple ones, and then you learn to use them. I don't know. Again, it should be simple weapons, comma, martial weapons. This is correct. I swear there's classes that aren't, but I might be wrong. This one makes me mad. Arcana, History, Insight, Survival, and Athletics. All of this is alphabetized except this. Why? Just put this over here and move this here. Why? Why would you do this? Okay, right. Okay, right, this hurts. Why is this italicized and the brackets aren't? Why is this capitalized? Why is any of this... This is all supposed to be in lowercase. Why not just put a martial weapon? Why not just put a martial weapon. Not to mention, this piece of art that they're using, this dude is clearly dual wielding. Why can't you start with 2 weapons? Why not give them, start with just 2 martial weapons? Why? Why not? I'm getting there, Joe. I'm getting there. A set of cartographer's tools. Oh, also here, cartographers. They don't list cartographers' tools. They just, because they're like, oh, tools, it's implied. It's like, no, they're not all called tools. Thieves, alchemist supplies, they're not alchemist tools. I'm crying over the D&D Wiki. That's what I'm doing. This is the D&D Wiki. I want to wind down from working on the Mystic, because I finished last week. I want to wind down, have a chill week. And we're going to hell. We're going to hell. A pouch for spell ingredients. I think you mean a component pouch. Also, you don't start with a kit. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, to be fair. That's clearly just an oversight. It's like, all classes tend to start with a kit of items. That's fine. If you are using starting wealth, you have 0 GP in funds. This person either A, does not understand how starting wealth works, or B, really fucking hates people taking starting wealth. And I don't even know. So they have spells, but they don't get spell. I assume this is just them rephrasing spellcasting, maybe? I don't know. Right. Weapon channeling. After meditating about a 2-handed weapon for 8 hours. This piece of art here clearly shows someone using 2... Wait, what? Wait, they do? What? What the fuck? What? Cantrips known column? There isn't a cantrips known column. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. What the fuck? Okay. It functions as a spell focus, that's not what that is, and negates the somatic components of spells you cast. Again, the weapon does not normally require attunement, it counts as an attuned item. Okay. As a bonus action, you add 1d4 force damage, and it scales. Why doesn't it scale to 5d? Why does it not scale to 5d4 at 17th level? Clearly it's supposed to scale with your proficiency bonus. What? Oh. This hurts. This really hurts. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about here, right? This is just like... I was a lot nicer the first time I went through this, where I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, oh, this is a cool idea and stuff. And man... This just makes me mad. This makes me really mad. Wait, why do they use wisdom? As wisdom helps to emit the energies of the arcane. I don't think it does. I think there's not a wisdom-based arcane caster for a reason. Because that doesn't make any sense. But, sure. Yep. Right. So this is... I don't know why this doesn't scale to 5d4 at 17th, but sure. This is weirdly restrictive, two-handed weapon. And a lot of the wording is just not correct. Like, seriously, people, don't just assume the terminology you're using is correct because it sounds right. Fucking look it up. Go find an equivalent in a piece of game design that already exists. What they're trying to replicate here is weapon bond that the Eldritch Knight gets. They could have just copied that word for word and it would have been totally fine. His ability would have functioned exactly the way they wanted it to. And would have also been a lot better. But no, it's just a basic assumption that like that, you know, it could be cool, but there's no flavor basis for it, you know. Like, clearly all the flavor for this class is in this creator's just fucking mind. You know, they've made it up or come up with it or whatever, and they've never bothered to write it down to explain specifically what it is that they're talking about, which is, in essence, like, the problem. Right, Conduit. You may use an action in order to recharge a spell slot of first, as a word, level. Doing so will deal in the future. in like 10 to 15, in 2 to 3 working days, you will take 2d4 force damage. And it's once per long rest, so why does it do damage to you? What the fuck is the point? And if it's once per long rest, why does it need to hurt you to be useful? Like, regaining 1 first level spell slot as an action, like, that's cool. I mean, it's not interesting, but it's, you know, it's neat. Your channeled weapon. What the fuck is a channeled weapon? So, it makes your spells 10 gold pieces cheaper to cast, but most spells you'd actually want to cast don't have a consumed gold cost. It's mostly like lengthy spell casts that do that. Presumably they look at like Chromatic Orb and assume that all spell components are consumed when they aren't. But yeah, this ability basically does nothing. It's, martial class, that doesn't get extra attack. Now this is game design, gamers. Oh no, they get it at 7th level for some reason, and it didn't just copy paste extra attack, they just worded it. Yep, okay, right. Infusion. As a bonus action, you can expend a spell slot of 1st level in order to infuse a spell of 1st level into your weapon. This effect persists for 1 minute or a single successful attack, whichever, or until, presumably. On a successful weapon, the effects of the spell activate, targeting or centered on the target. This hurts. This really does. Yes, welcome in. We're in hell at the moment. We're looking at the D&D Wiki. So for anyone who's just dropped in, for those who are uninitiated, the D&D Wiki is full of bad game design. This is game design gore, basically. Like software gore, just game design gore instead. One-shot stuff. One-shot's good fun. I don't run them very much. I usually run them for like occasions and the sort, but even then I don't, I probably haven't run one in about 3 years. 3 years, at least 2. I definitely haven't run one in 2 years, that's for sure. 3 is maybe pushing it, but 2 definitely. One-shots are good fun though. I got a few on the back burner that I want to release at some point. So feel free to put your well, I mean, if you want to, obviously put the concept in chat. I'm interested. Give me a break from these bad ideas to look at probably good ideas instead. I mean, I guess it's like, I guess. That's fun. Yeah, you make it. I mean, yeah, you just make like a 15th level character or something really, really crazy powerful. Assuming that they themselves are the demigods. I would assume is the point, but I don't know. So I can see some, I don't know, infusion is I think Joe, you're probably right. I guess the main thing is for like cantrips, it potentially like, you know, you use a bonus action to make your I don't know. Okay, that's kind of neat. But yeah, infusion. This ability is, I mean, there's ways it can be used, but it's I mean, yeah, the cantrips are like kind of legit as well. You know, you put, I don't know, like Shocking Grasp in your sword, and then you attack with your sword, and then you also get a second attack for Shocking Grasp as well. Like, obviously you need to hit twice, but that's generally not that hard, and also, you know, it potentially doubles your damage output, right? You know, you spend a bonus action to not only attack, but also cast a cantrip on them at the same time. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I say the, I think like just allowing them to make like really high level characters and telling them to sort of like, you know, they should probably have some kind of magical capabilities. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. So, Reverberation. While wielding your channeled weapon, you can reverberate the last damaging spell you cast as a bonus action. This is a real bonus action hungry class. I know it doesn't combat with haste. I guess you could hit them and then cast haste on your target. It's just pretty funny. You stab your friend and it's like, you're fast now, buddy. Fucking run. I mean, you could also just spend your action and cast haste, but that's funny, so... Oh, also you can only infuse first level spells. That's another, so you can't even do that either. So Reverberation is... All of these abilities are kind of just like, hey, let's make Arcane Touch completely pointless. Yeah, you can add a d12... Oh, so if you cast Fireball, your next... But you have to cast it, because Infusion doesn't cast a spell. So you've got, like, 3 abilities that are fighting with each other, because you want to use your bonus action to Arcane Touch, you want to use your bonus action to infuse spells into your thing, but you also just want to cast spells normally so that you can get the extra damage on Reverberation, which is also a bonus action. And also, there's the last damaging spell you cast. You could have cast it like 8 months ago. Like, oh yeah, I cast Fireball like 8 weeks ago, so I'm gonna just put that Fireball on my fucking sword now. I mean, there's the Boons in the DMG. Hang on, is the DMG inconveniently far down in my pile of books? No, it's not. That's nice. Here's my... I hit myself in the face with the corner of the book. It's here somewhere. I'm going to try and get the book in frame so it looks like I'm actually doing something. Oh, here we go, found it. Epic Boons, page 231 of the DMG. There are a whole bunch of them. You give them, like, you know, like the wizard can be like, oh, I've got the boon of high magic, so I can meteor swarm twice a day, or whatever. Wow, dimensional travel is garbage. As an action, you can cast Misty Step once per short rest. And also, it only recharges on it doesn't recharge on a short or long rest either, it's just only on a short rest. All of them do. Well, all of them, some of them do. Wow, Boon of Peerless Aim plus 20 to a ranged attack roll once per short rest. I mean, it certainly can do. It's all about flavor, right? Because, like, the mechanics don't actually matter in this sense. Like, they can have whatever. Like, they could, you know, they can have literally anything. But if you flavor it as, you can do this because you are a demigod for X, Y, Z reasons, then that's it, right? Hell, I would argue just, like, characters being 20th levels on their own is enough for, like, demigod status of power. Like a wizard with Wish, and is basically is, you know, their power is limited only by their knowledge of the spells in the game. which can be pretty extensive for some players who are just like, yeah, I cast Temple of the Gods and hide in the temple until the fight is over. Or more specifically, Wish Temple of the Gods. But so at 7th level, you can use using a single attack action allows you to attack twice. Why not just copy from extra attack? I don't know. It's using a single attack action allows you to attack twice. Rules for folks at home. I said this before and I'm gonna fucking say it again. If you have a mechanic in your thing that is reminiscent of something that you know to exist within the game, or something you even think might realistically exist within the game, then go out and find what that thing is and copy the wording. Like, you don't have to, like, word for word. Like, if it doesn't do exactly what you want, then yeah, you can, like, fidget with it a little bit. But keep the wording the same. Keep it consistent. Potentially, yeah. I think probably, like, portfolio can very easily be represented by, oh, your portfolio is war? Yeah, you can cast, this spell once per day. Like, that feels, just giving them, like, reasonably good spells from their portfolio, like, for free, or, once per day or whatever. Sounds fine. Like a 5th level spell or a 5th level or lower spell cast at 5th level. Like the Destruction Domain, or the, if your portfolio is Wildfires or whatever, then you can have Immolation or Fireball or 5th level or something once per day. Like, all of that stuff can be fairly easily, like... I mean, they're demigods, right? That's, like, you can't really be a demigod and just kind of be a guy. You're gonna have at least some, like, magical capabilities. Like, Hercules, he couldn't, like, cast Fireball, but he was, obscenely strong, and... Was he indestructible? I don't think he was. I think he was just really strong. Like, it's in the same way that you can be a tiefling fighter and still be able to cast your tiefling racial spells. It's stuff like that. No, clear my throat. Ugh. Infusion now allows you to expend spells, not spell slots, spells, of up to 3rd level, infusing spells of 3rd level into your weapon. Not 3rd level or lower, has to be 3rd level. Additionally, you can choose to focus spells that would otherwise have ready into a single target. So you can pick Fireball and have it centered on the target and it gets 1 extra die when you do it. Okay. Oh, Journeyman Weapon Channeling. Oh, you ignore 100 gold pieces of the material cost of casting spells. Most spells don't have a consumed cost, especially not ones you'd actually cast in combat. I would say, you would have to limit the level of the thing that they can do. Like, again, I would argue that, the players should be building their characters around the portfolios that they pick, not building characters and then getting portfolios and getting free shit. I don't think that's necessarily a problem, but, like, the players should, build a high-level character. If their portfolio is Wildfires, let's say, then they should probably be playing, like, some kind of fire sorcerer or something, as opposed to just being, like, a 20th level fighter and getting to cast Fireball for free whenever they want, or something like that. I don't know. Like, obviously, that's probably pushing power too much, and also would be stupid, because why would you ever cast Fireball as a fighter when you can just stab a guy 4 times? Like, it does more damage if you've built your character properly, anyway. Like, if you've built your fighter character to any degree of optimization, you do a Fireball's worth of damage in a single action effortlessly. That's, say you've got Great Sword, that's average of 12. 12 times 4, 48. Yeah, that's 48 damage minimum, or on average 48 damage, without any kind of special damage bonuses, which a lot of fighters do get. But yeah, I would argue that if it's just a high level campaign, and you add the flavor that they are demigods, and thus they have to pick portfolios and then build their characters around their portfolios. If the fire person wants to be a fighter, then it's like, well, you got to pick Eldritch Knight. Like go pick Eldritch Knight. If the nature person's like, oh, I want to be a cleric, it's like, well, then you be a nature cleric. Or if the life person's like, oh, I want to be a fighter, then you go, then why did you pick life? I mean, it's a one-shot, right? Like, it's a fairly simple premise. Go out, destroy the thing that are destroying demigods. That seems fairly self-explanatory. It seems fairly simple, something you can get through in like 4 hours. Maybe a little longer, depending on how long your sessions are. And add in some... Yeah, I say the... Here we go. At 11th, your conduit can be used to recharge a spell slot of any level. However, you take 1d8 damage per level of spell slot recharged. Yeah, realistically, it's a one-shot. You don't need to, invent a bunch of mechanical nonsense for a one-shot. And also, even if it wasn't a one-shot, you still don't need to. It can be fun to do that and invent a bunch of, crazy mechanics and shit. I want to run a D&D game that's like Enter the Gungeon, or what's another good example? The Binding of Isaac, and that will require me basically reworking the entirety of the entire item system, or not, just making a shit ton of systems to make that work, making a million unique monsters, and that's gonna be super fun. But yeah, that's a bit. Need to descale my Kel, but it's gonna be really fun doing that, but. For any other game, I ain't doing that shit. I don't need to. I think something that I've learned from the few times I've tried to do it is trying to invent mechanics to fit a campaign. Unless what you're going for is very, very specific, it's generally not worth it, even if it is really fun. It's usually just kind of bloat to a game that already has enough complexity on its own. Especially for something like a one-shot. Just make sure the players are they're either building a character and then deciding their portfolios around their character, or around what their character can do, or they're picking portfolios and then building a character around the portfolios that they chose. What the hell is this? When infusing a damaging spell into your channel weapon, add an additional d8 of damage with type equivalent to the type of the damaging to the. Yeah, I'd say the concept is cool. I like it. It's a fun one-shot concept. There's a very good chance I'll snipe it for a home game at some point. But when infusing a damaging spell into your channel weapon, add an additional d8 of damage with type equivalent to the type of the damaging spell, presumably to the damage roll. It's just damaging. Energy vampire? What? Your massive draw on the powers of the arcane saps the power of everyone near you. Infusing a spell, add an additional damage die to the damage for each. What? Right, okay, I understand. You want to be around a bunch of creatures. That's fucking stupid. Additionally, weapons can never break or be forcibly removed from your hands, and you may teleport it to your... And your weapon does an additional damage die. Okay, sure, whatever. You can now infuse any spell. Could you not already do that? I don't even know. No, deals... Let's go around, hit. Additional 1d20 damage. Oh, no, I actually, like... One of these days, like... Just the idea... because in my home game, actually no, there is, I have done it once in my home game, is in my home game, I've done like some tweaks and balance shifts and some outright reworks to a lot of classes in the game, and I fixed, I fixed Bard's Capstone and made it not a pile of shit, and gave them a once per day special super Bardic Inspiration die that is a d20. And if you're College of Valor, you can add your Bardic Inspiration die to the damage when you have it. Which means that if you have the special d20 Bardic Inspiration, you can be like, oh, I roll, 1d8 plus 5. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll this d20 and add that to the damage. Yeah, plus 17 damage. Fuck you. And I love that. That's really fun. I love that shit. That's... Wait. Why do they get so few spells? Oh my god. Haste, okay. Why do they get, like, the same number of spells for every level? Did they just, like, list a bunch of... all of these spells? No, they aren't SRD, because Smells Minute Meteors is an SRD. Wall of Light isn't a spell! I mean, maybe it's on this wiki, right? But... why Strength, what Wisdom? Wait, there are no subclasses. There are no subclasses! There aren't any! What the fuck? I thought there were! There aren't! There aren't at all! And all of these aren't in alphabetical order, and it's like none of them, and Haste is a first level spell now. Oh my god. This isn't the worst thing I've ever seen on here either. That was the fucking Sacre from the last time I did this, and good lord. I love doing this. I love doing this so much because I can't feel bad. I mean, I can feel like, Haste on the first level infusion. Oh my god, yes, because you can slap haste on them and then you can end concentration on the spell. And then they can't take an action. Oh, that's so good. Faemire, I genuinely respect your cause. But man, your time could be spent literally anywhere else. And it would be much better. Like, I respect the attempt, but man, that shit is not happening. It is a pile of garbage. It doesn't matter if you make the best thing in the world. It is polishing a turd. Like, you could make something amazing. And I don't doubt that there is great shit on hell, there is good shit on the D&D Wiki. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't. Because there is. I've found some before. It's fucking rare. Diamond in the rough. Needle in a haystack. But that's the problem. Is it has the reputation. That reputation is never going to go away because by and large, 99% of the stuff on here is unusable trash. There's some cool concepts, and that's really the only thing that can be taken from here. Both myself and Joe can attest. Joe especially. When we're designing shit, we look on the D&D Wiki to see how other people have done it, so we know how not to do it. But we can also look for good ideas that people have had. Like, oh, this person has done this specific thing, and they've done it horribly wrong. Let's see if I can do it, and do it not horribly. For that, it has value. And also for doing what I'm doing right now, because this is really funny. But yeah, I would, like, again, I respect the attempt, big time, but anywhere else, just anywhere. I say that, the D&D Beyond forums are also as bad, they just don't have the reputation, and the Unearthed Arcana subreddit is also a pile of shit. It's sort of the opposite of the D&D Wiki, where they will upvote terrible ideas, like fundamentally awful ideas that have been formatted to look nice and pretty, and fundamental, like, just terrible ideas that don't work because they're terrible. And that's almost all Unearthed Arcana is, because all of the good creators went and moved to the DM's Guild, and they're all fairly successful now. Or they moved to Patreon. Some of them did that too. I say some of them, one of them did, and it was Sort Me Out. Everyone else, like Ross Lacer, Steve Fiddler, they're both DM's Guild now. I think even Fiddler has left the guild. I think he's just on Drive-Thru now. I'm not sure. I feel like Benjamin Huffman used to be on Unearthed Arcana, but I'm uncertain about that one. I think he might have just dived straight in and taken the DM's Guild by storm by making the Pugilist, I guess. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with Huffman's stuff, beyond, like, some of the stuff he's done with Ross Lacer. But, either way, I'm going to take a quick break here, because I'm fucking starving. I'm hungry. I want to go get food. So I will be like 15 minutes or so. When I get back, I have 2 more classes on here. This is the Oracle. This is apparently finished. And this is apparently one of the top rated things on this site. We're going to find out. And the Wugen, which is probably going to be shit, but that's fine. It's going to be funny if it's bad. So, either way, I'm going to go grab some food. I'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes, because I'm hungry and I want to eat food. Believe it or not, that is what being hungry tends to entail, is eating food or wanting to eat food if none is available. And there is some food available, so I'm going to go get it. I'll be back in a few minutes. So yeah. I returned from the realms beyond. It is me. Hello. There is a bug. It's gone. I missed it. Ugh. Untie my hair real quick. Ugh. Ow. Tangle. No. No. Let's clear my throat. It is I. Hello. I return. So we're looking at the Oracle. To my knowledge, this is one of the more sort of highly rated things in this on like the whole website. So I'm curious to see. There's not much flavor text, but they've kind of skipped out like the middleman. They got the creating. They don't have a quick. It's a reference to Roman mythology and Star Wars. Okay, maybe this isn't very good. Well, you know. That's not how you spell slight. I mean, it is, but it's a different word. And so it'd be two as a word. Two types of gaming? I don't know if that's right. A sling is a simple weapon? I'm pretty sure. A sling is a simple weapon. It should say simple melee weapons. Okay, fine. A dagger, a dagger and quarterstaff, or a mace and two spears. Okay. Studded armor, chain shirt. It should be studded leather. I think. I mean, not even I think. That should be what it is. Chain shirt or ring mail. This again, like, why don't people italicize the fucking brackets as well? That's the point. Why do they get so many weapons? What the fuck? A priest pack, explorer's pack, and clothes. That's not how that works. And also you get traveler's clothes from your background. This is fine. Cast your miracles with his parents given Oracle spell list. This shouldn't be formatted like this, but it's not. The wording is fine, I think. So you get with Astral Personification, which presumably your subclass, your Divine Curse. You get a lot of shit. This is a very front-loaded first level thing. One of these should be on a second, but probably the subclass. Or probably the Curse, actually. Each time you cast a spell, you must roll a d20 of the... It was almost there. It was almost not a pile of shit. Roll a d20 whenever you cast a spell. If the result is 15 or higher, the spell doesn't work. And then you get this other thing, which is just, Fun things for gamers at home. Don't put random, like literally random, penalties and into your shit. They're just a generic spellcasting class at level 1, and they just get this. Just this thing that's like, oh, 1 in 4 spells you cast just don't fucking work. Or you lose your materials as well. You don't lose the spell slot, I guess, but if you cast an expensive spell, then sorry. You know, if you cast fucking Hallow, all the material components, you've fucking gone, you idiot. Just, This is one of the most upvoted the most, finished things on the site, and this is here, apparently. At 5th level, you can ignore it by taking radiant damage equal to twice the spell's level. This also applies to cantrips, by the way. Because cantrip is a spell. So at 5th level, you can take 0 radiant damage to ignore its effects. Like, oh, wow, great. Just, oh, this is... Once per day, you can spend 10 minutes reading the fortunes of another creature. You must specify the target beforehand, roll an investigation check to keep that number. Anytime the target rolls a d20, you miss. Results of that anytime? What? Anytime? I know this is a shitty portent, but what the fuck? Oh, you can read the fortunes of any creature. You'll be like, oh yeah, the bad guy? Yeah, oh, I rolled a 1. Yep, the bad guy, if they make any rolls. Just any d20 roll. Roll a 1. Just, yep. You gain, like, additional uses? Like, what does that even... I guess once per day you'd speak. It just... This makes me angry. I hate this. I hate this so much. The fuck is Omen? You concentrate on 2 spells simultaneously. Oh, wow, whatever. You can have more than one of your concentration spells active on any single object, creature, or monster at the same... Object? Just a creature! Nor can you have duplicate concentration spells active, even if they were cast at different levels. Oh, this is so hodgepodge, and it's like they've tried to balance it, but they haven't at all. So the astral personification. God. Oh, there's no flavor text. Okay, right. Oh, you just get fucking E-Blast? Okay, sure. Wait, you start with 5 fucking cantrips. I mean, you know, obviously 1 in 4 times none of your spells fucking work, but... Dissonant Whispers, Guiding Bolt, Gentle Repose, Blink, Spirit... There's some good... There's some fucking... All of these spells are good. Literally the worst spell here is Guiding Bolt. And even Guiding Bolt is good. Like... All of these spells are great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, mind you. Like, all of the free spells you get being just really good. Like, sweet, you know? Like, you know, Hold Person, Dominate Person can be a little narrow sometimes, but they're good spells. Gentle Repose is great for resurrecting characters. You know, if you don't have 500 gold for Raised Edge, just fucking Gentle Repose them. And then you can revivify them tomorrow morning. Like, cool. Blink is really good. Blink and Spirit Guardians, that's a non-bow, that's for sure, but they're both good spells and they're different for useful for different things. Death Ward is good. Polymorph is great. Big Beast Hand is fantastic. Dominate Person is alright. Dissonant Whispers is good. Yeah, honestly, the worst spell here is Guiding Bolt, and Guiding Bolt's still pretty okay. While you're concentrating on a spell, you get a bonus to your AC equal to half the spell's level, but will not increase your AC beyond 20. Oh, half the spell's level rounding up. Oh, God. For anyone who's just popped back in, this is worse. This is so much worse. I will, for anyone who didn't see, I will go back and point it out later on, but good lord. Oh, you just get... I mean, it's clear that they don't understand the bonus action spell rules, but the clear rules as intended here is that you can once per day, and then eventually multiple times per day, cast 2 spells in a turn. Obviously, one of them has, you know, they both have a 25% chance of just not fucking working, but, you know, that's... What? Friendly creatures under your concentration spells heal the maximum amount on any hit points regained. Okay. You can spend a hit What? What? Presumably this means during your short rest. But it means you can recover spell. Oh god. This is... I say the 20th level feature, you know? It's like reverse legendary resistance, that's cool, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, but... I mean, it's worded horribly. Like, it's worded just so badly. But, yeah. The reason why I'm being so, like, hard on this is not because I think it's a bad idea or because I think it's stupid. I mean, a lot of the abilities are fucking stupid, but it's specifically because this is supposed to be this is one of the first things that pops up. Like, hang on, let me go back here. Homebrew content. Classes. Full list of classes. Oh no. Oh. I was wrong. It wasn't one of the top rated ones. I don't have to be as hard on it, but still total garbage. So Orator of the Occult. That's a very weird subclass name. Given that this one isn't called Orator of the Fate Weaver, but whatever. Ugh. Arms of Hadar, Hex, Misty Step, Ray of Enfeeblement, Fear, Hunger of Hadar, Blight, Greater Invisibility, Contagion, Insect Plague. That's okay. There's some good ones, there's some bad ones. You learn 2 languages. And you gain expertise in 2 skills. Okay. Your concentration checks add your dexterity. Okay. So you can just... Free actions on a thing, and also there are so few bonus action spells in this fucking game. Okay, right. What the fuck is Revelation? Oh, it's just the replace the roll. Okay. Any number of times. I mean, this doesn't fucking work at all, but sure. Whatever. If the Oracle's Curse causes a spell to miss, that's not how the caster takes... What? I'm not even gonna bother. Enemies have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws while being under the effects of it. Sure. God, this is so bad. It's so bad. Compel Duel, Thunderous, okay. Branding Smite, Crusader's Mantle. This is originally medium armor and martial weapons, okay. Against creatures you targeted with a melee attack during your last turn, you automatically pass any Constitution saving throws from damage dealt by that. So it's completely fucking useless. Once per short rest, you can extend the reach of your weapon by 5 feet and may choose to push or pull the target up to 10 feet for 1 attack roll. Oh. This is trash. You melee weapon attacks deal additional radiant damage equal to your Constitution modifier, and you regain hit points equal to that amount. Doesn't matter. Why would I ever cast it? I guess I cast the Smite spells, maybe. It's still garbage. All saving throws made to resist being banished by your spells are just... Oh, wow. My banishment spell is slightly better. Whoa. Oh, okay, right. This is the worst one, because, as it turns out, trying to shoehorn Marshall into a spellcaster is very easy to do badly. Because WotC have done it before. And this is worse. This is so much worse. What's the Zodiac Warrior? False Life, Wrathful Smite, Dark Vision, Moonbeam, Blinding Smite, Haste. I mean, Haste, that's good. Smite, Stone Skin, Circle of Power. That's fucking good. Oh, you get more medium armor, heavy armor, and shields to gain resistance to a damage type of your choice until the end of turn. I mean, it doesn't specify when you take the reaction, but it's fine. When you use your Revelation, you can immediately... And here is... regular spell list, fine. Yeah, whatever. If your DM does not approve of this class, here are some added effects a spell failure can cause your character. These should only be used if the character is overperforming or lacks any sense of urgency out of combat. As playing this class is already somewhat taxing to keep track of to the player, feel free to... No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. No, this is a generic subpar caster class. Right. So let's have a read of Divine Curskin, specifically this part. For anyone who wasn't here, each time you cast a spell, you must roll a d20. If the result is equal to, or if the fucking no, that's redundant. If the result is equal to or higher than 15, the spell failed. Past tense, the spell fails. The casting time and materials are all wasted, but you do not expend the spell slot. So every single spell you cast has, I believe, a 30, it's not 25, a 30% chance of just not fucking working. Every time. Just without fail, every time. D20, let's roll. I got D20 right here, it's my FR D20. Oh, I rolled a 17, my spell failed. Does anyone here have any form of defense for this? Because if you do, you're wrong. You don't. Like, you don't. This was fun before, but now I'm mad. Because this shit, someone has played this. I know for a fact that someone has played this. Because a lot of these classes are made by people who want to play them themselves. Because they don't feel like the system provides what they want, because they don't understand the system well enough to make the things that they want. There are legitimate things that the game... Okay, I like that, Joe. I like that. So, this is a kind of design that I've seen before on the D&D Wiki, amusingly enough. It's punishing people for playing that class. I've seen people suggest it a lot as well. Usually people who come from sort of a background of playing video games, where the idea of the idea of having a downside is not inherently a bad thing, because it's interesting in a lot of games, and that's true. In a lot of video games, having a downside for something is totally really interesting, because usually the point of the downside is to find a way to circumvent it. Great examples are a lot of roguelikes, which have like cursed items, which have negative effects for positive effects, but if you build your character properly, or you roll good items as a part of the roguelike game, the penalty becomes completely fucking negligible. And that's awesome. That's a really interesting piece of design. Lets people outsmart the game that they're playing. That doesn't work in a tabletop game. It does not work. Because 9 times out of 10, either the penalty literally never applies, and it takes no effort see ability score penalties for the Volos races like Kobold and Orc. Like, if you're an Orc, just don't play a Wizard, and then intelligence will never come up. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're a Kobold, don't be a Barbarian. You know, don't play a class that needs Strength. And it doesn't matter. You get all the other Kobold stuff for free. All of this stuff, all of it, it doesn't work in any RPG for that matter. I would argue 3.5. Like, 3.5 has stat negatives for pretty much every race. Or when I say every race, a lot of the races. They're fucking stupid and they shouldn't be in the game. Because, funnily enough, punishing people for wanting to build a character a certain way is moronic. You know, if I for some reason wanted to play this class, I couldn't. Because, you know, 30% of all my spells fail. Like, oh, I don't waste the spell slot. It doesn't fucking matter. You may as well waste the spell slot. It's that debilitating. I lose a turn 9 times out of 10. Like, what does that do? It means you lose a turn. That's fucking massive. You know, certainly the higher level you get, certainly low level, you know, a combat round will take 10 minutes. You know, go through round 2, you know, the whole combat will be 3 rounds, it'll last half an hour. Later on, combats will last 2 hours, and each round will be 30 to 40 minutes long. If on my turn I cast my 8th level spell and it just doesn't fucking work, then I might as well just, you know, be a cleric or a divination wizard, fill the exact same flavor, get the same flavor from doing that. So don't put pointless penalties in your design, because it doesn't fucking work. All it does is just make people go, well, I guess I'll just play the thing that doesn't have the penalty then. You know? Who would play this? Why would anyone ever play this? You know? Unless they were specifically handicapping themselves for a meme, but even then, the class doesn't work. It doesn't function. Half of its abilities don't work, rules as written. Half of them are not even really sure what they do, rules as intended. And because this is on the D&D Wiki... Oh god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'll multi-class into Sorcerer to get like some benefits. No, you won't. Once you take 1 level in Oracle and you've just shot yourself in the foot, because you have the Divine Curse, whatever the fuck that is. But yeah. So, you know, don't do this. Just fucking don't. And, you know, whoever this person is, I don't know who has made this. The primary contributor has requested no further edits to this page, you know. They're never allowed to receive, like, critique. There's no comments here. You can't put comments on this. You can't message someone and just blanketly tell them that they've made a pile of garbage. You just can't. This person has probably played this in a game. Or even worse, they've got someone else to play it. That's worse. Like imagine being tricked into playing a garbage class by your GM or something because they made it and they're like, oh, it's really strong, you know, it does all these things. And then you play it and it's a pile of shit. Like, that's like if in 2014 when 5th edition came out, someone came up to you and told you to play a Beastmaster Ranger and told you it was amazing. Imagine that, but imagine if that person designed Beastmaster Ranger and legitimately thought it was amazing. That's the equivalent. That's why this is so bad. Because someone, yeah, fine, the person who made this is clearly a fucking masochist and also an idiot. But at least they're suffering. It's a good chance someone else has played this, or will play this in the future. I fucking hope they don't. For their own sake. But here we are. This is why the DM's Guild is irredeemably awful. Yeah, generally that's a lot of like hallmarks of very, very novice design, where half the abilities you get are completely fucking useless and the other half are game-breakingly overpowered. And that's, you know, that is a byproduct of being an amateur. not having the experience, not having the game knowledge required to design for a game. And that happens. I've made shit, nothing like this. This is a whole other level of garbage. But I have made stuff that is trash before. Many times. Many, many times. And I will probably continue to make stuff that is garbage. But the thing is you have other people to tell you that your stuff is trash, and then once you have that second opinion, you can go, yeah, this does fucking suck. I guess I should improve it. And that's how you get better at literally anything, might I add. That's how you get better at anything. Is by being told that what you do is bad, and being given good reasons for it. But being told, what you've made is a pile of shit. Here is why. Obviously, they should probably be nicer about it, ultimately speaking, but whoever this person is not here, so I don't have to pretend to be. I don't have to pretend that I in any way like this. And if you are, sorry, tough break, this is a pile of shit. And whoever this is needs to hear some variation of this is a pile of shit and here's why, otherwise they're never going to get any better. Ever. It's just not going to happen. They will be incapable of improving because they will keep making trash like this. But yeah, that went from like the channeler was funny because it was just horribly just designed, whereas this makes me mad. This makes me mad. Someone could be tricked into playing this because the formatting isn't terrible. Like it's done vaguely. But yeah. But I have about 20 minutes before I need to go, and I want to look at the Wu Gen. I want to find out what garbage is here. Oh. Now, if I remember correctly, the Wu Gen is specifically it means like elementalist or something. It's something from Oriental Adventures or something like that. It's just kind of like he who Japan cool. Let's make like it's just Tengu Oni. Yeah, it's like Japanese like inspired spirit forces, elements, and the powers of nature. They're Japanese inspired druid monks or druid 4 elements monks, whatever, right? Fine. D6 hit die. Simple weapons, scimitars, katanas. I know where we're going. It's straight down to hell again. In Wiz, fine. Choose 2. Is this alphabetized? Yes, it is. A simple weapon, or B, a scimitar. This is this should be capitalized here, I think. Let me check. I'm not sure about that one. The equipment section is correctly formatted in its entirety. This is the first one I've looked at 3 classes today. This is the first one in which the equipment section has been formatted properly. Yes. It makes me happy. It does. Because whenever I see an equipment section that is formatted wrong, an angel loses its wings and plummets down into the infinite abyss. Or something, I don't know, whatever. Table. Soul points. Okay. Presumably that's just key, probably. It's probably just going to be key. Spellcasting, deep study. Okay. Presumably that's the force, focus, mystical soul, key, light. Does this not have subclasses? No, it doesn't. Okay, right. Fine. Right. Spellcasting, is it? It's almost formatted. It's almost. They missed some line breaks here, but it's mostly okay. You may switch cantrips. That's clearly they've injected that in here. They are ritual casters, arcane focus. You speak Draconic, Giant, Oni, and Tengu. Should there be a comma here? I don't know. Oh, you literally just get like 3-4 languages? I'm not sure. Sure. You gain 2 of the following mystical soul options of your choice. You can use only 1 mystical soul option on a spell when you cast it. That's just Twin Spell. What the fuck? This is just Twin Spell. Flying Souls and actually spend 3 soul points. Wasn't well in. They get a 30-foot fly. You just get worse fly for 3 points. I guess you spent all your points. When did you get them back? Long rest, okay. Changing Soul. So this is trash. You have to spell a 3rd level or more. You spend 4 spell points to regain 2 level 1 spell. Okay. Okay. Hopefuls. Why is this not alphabetized? Oh god, there's so many. Rejuvenating Soul, Hopeful Soul, to heal 1d10 from you, or anyone in a 20-foot radius from you. Yeah. Yeah. Katanas are just, like, skinny longswords. Yeah. Or you have the, what are the short, like, the short katanas, no handle, what are they called? The short ones could be like short swords or daggers or something. What the fuck are they called? Hang on. Wakizashi. Yes, that's it. Yep. Yeah, it's exactly. It is like. Yeah, they're just a short sword. It's still wakizashi. I think they're meant to be like parrying. They're like parrying knives for that fencers used to use. Which I think that's what the wakizashis were for anyway, within like actual combat. I'm not sure. Cast a spell, you spend 1 soul point to cast it. Okay, so it's just silent spell or whatever the fuck it is. Subtle spell. That's it. To teleport places. Okay, right. You swap places, but it's teleport places. You cast a spell. Cast it. Oh, this is just Quicken Spell. Is this just Sorcerer? Because it kind of is. This is kind of just Sorcerer. Temporary concentration on 2 spells. This is extended spell. This is the reroll one. And this is what is it? The Shillelagh. You gain the Feng Shui spell from the Wujin. There are spells for this. Okay, well, I don't know why it's called Keen Mind. You advantage on Charisma saving throws against Onis and Tengus. I'm pretty fucking sure that Onis and Tengus are not even remotely related. I'm pretty sure an Oni is just a demon. It's a type of demonic creature. And a Tengu is just like the Tengu is another type of demon. Yeah, exactly. Because you learn their language as well. Whenever you cast a spell with an... Oh, okay, right, I'm just going to ignore this. Offhand spell casting. Cast one spell or make an attack, you can make cast 1 Wujin... Okay, right, you just quicken a cantrip, fine. Oh, they've actually limited the uses. Okay, that's fine. To cast a spell that requires a saving throw or a skill check, you can gather the power of forces. The power of forces around you to give either plus or minus to the rolls of those affected by the spell. Okay, you may use this ability half your intelligence modifier rounded down times. Yeah. Now this is text right here. You get an extra mythical soul, whatever, I don't care. When you take damage, to grant yourself resistance to damage, okay, whatever. Immunity until the end of your next test, sure, whatever, okay. Oh, more Oni and Tengu shit. Are these the only two, like, Japanese, like, spirits that people know about, that this person knows about? Yokai, that's it. Oh, Toriyama. I've got, like, the wiki page for Tengu's on, like, open here. And Toriyama depicts them as just birds. Having played a shit ton of Sekiro, I have a very preconceived notion as to what a Tengu is. Here we go. Yeah, the one with the really long, pointy nose. I say I will be going in about 10 minutes or so. I'm sure there's a piece of shit I'm sure there's several terrible necromancers on here. I do not doubt that even for a second. Oh, it has stars. Can I vote it? Can I vote? Can I give it votes? No, I can't. I'm just not going to bother reading the last two bits because I don't care. This is bad. It's bad sorcerer with a bunch of like Japanese nonsense taped onto it. So because that really pissed me off, we're going to look at some nice pictures. We're going to look at some cool Oni art, because Onis are cool. Oh, there's not actually that much. But here's the Tengu. There he is with his big old nose. His big old schnoz. Oh, he's got a little phylactery on his head. That's interesting. But yeah, popular folk tales. Oh, it's Kentaro. Okay. Training with the Tengu. Yeah, a lot of them just depict them as like birds. That's really weird. Yeah, they're just kind of like bird dudes. I'm very much more familiar with this face here, as opposed to like here is Toriyama. He's like the most prevalent, like artist of like mythical Japanese creatures. Here it was Toriyama. Who's the other one? Oh, this is another Toriyama Sekian. Oh, that's interesting. Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy that's who's sort of fairly famous for I forget who the other guy is. I mean, there's probably plenty of people, but no, I don't want the city in Azerbaijan. That's not what I want. Here we go. Hakusai. That's it. That's the guy. Hakusai and so I was looking for like because one of the sort of the dude who wrote like books and poems and stuff about like all of like the different Japanese yokai back in like the I think like 17 and 1800s. I think I'm terrible with dates. I absolutely love history stuff and I love mythology and shit, but I'm awful with dates. Like I could not fucking tell you when World War II ended, and that's like the only thing. I say the only. It's like the most prevalent thing that British history like teaches is World War One and World War Two, especially World War One. I couldn't tell you when World War One started. I could probably guess when it ended, and I couldn't fucking tell you when World War Two started. And I was just fucking terrible with dates. I'm terrible with them. Like, I tell you a whole bunch of random shit happened in both, but man, couldn't tell you the dates. No, not even like the year. I'm not talking about. It's like, oh, I don't know the day or the month. It's like, no, I couldn't tell you the fucking year. I had no idea. Fine, 1919 is the end of World War One, I think, maybe. And then like the 30s and the early 40s of World War Two, I think. I don't know. Just whatever. Either way, I should probably head off now because I have a game to go to in about 5 minutes or so. And I need to go post this VOD as well. Like, this video here needs to be posted as a VOD. And I'm pretty sure all my VODs will have been posted by, because I had a huge fucking backlog. And they went like a month into the future. Let me check. I'm actually curious. Are all of them public? They are as of 2 days ago. So, sweet. But yeah, I am going to head off here. I've had a good time today. Whilst the Oracle made me very angry, the rest of these have been quite amusing. I will probably do this again at some point in the future, but as of right now, just like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. I've got some not really got a lot going on. I might work on some spells. That's usually fairly relaxed. Usually fairly good fun. I might work on some magic items as well, actually. That is probably actually what I'm going to do, because I do need to work on magic items. I have a magic item book that I need to release in like 3 months. I mean, it's not going to happen in like 3 months, but I'm hoping it does. But yeah, I am hoping, because I didn't take the week off, so to speak. I just kind of, every day I'd gotta get up and be like, I don't really feel like being conscious today. So yeah, last week I didn't really stream like at all, and I didn't really do much work on Angela's, so I'm super behind. I'm not gonna meet the fucking deadline, that's for sure. I still have like 6 more to do. Well, that's a lot. It's like 5, I think, more to do. Like, that shit just isn't happening. But you know, it's not really a big deal. I didn't expect to meet the deadline, but I was hoping I would just barely, you know, do it just past the finishing line. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's not a hard deadline at all. But either way, I am going to head off now. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will hopefully be about tomorrow at about sort of 1-2 o'clock to do some writing on one of the remaining characters in my book. And I will potentially be doing that for a number of days next week. That's the goal anyways. But yeah, so yeah.